Hey, hello everybody. Hope everybody's doing well today. Earlier I had mentioned that I wanted to do a video on because you're talking to me, or I'm talking to you, my puppy Roxy. Let me show you a picture of Roxy there hanging out with Tanya. So, Roxy's a very special dog, and I don't know why, I don't know, it wasn't from us. But about a year after my stroke, I wanted to get back to work, and what I decided to do is go volunteer down at the Pet Resource Center here in Hillsborough County. And I got to work in the veterinary department where we did spay, neutering, we did physical checkups and stuff on the cats and dogs that came into the Pet Resource Center. And I learned a lot there, but I met a lot of great dogs. Didn't meet any good cats, but I met good dogs. And they have a play group in the mornings where they get several dogs together and put them in a large fenced-in area. And we usually have one staffer and several volunteers that run that. And gets the dogs out of the kennel and gets them running around and play with each other, socialize. But they have to pass some criteria before they can get out into the play group and become a member of the play group. And there's a lot of steps, but one of the last steps is to be introduced to a good, socialized, well-balanced dog and see how they do with that dog, and then before they're introduced into a larger crowd. Well, Roxy was that dog. Roxy was the go-to dog. And if a dog had a problem with Roxy, the dog did not advance to the playgroup. If it wasn't able to be nice with Roxy, then it wasn't going to be nice with any other dog. That's just the kind of dog that Roxy is. And everybody loved it. When the volunteer coordinator would do orientations on how to go get dogs out of the kennel, how to show the dogs off for adoption, and all the different kind of things that we would do with the dogs, guess who was the what do you call it? The sample dog, I guess. The example was
Training dog?
Where? Do I have her on the screen?
Yes.
Yeah, that one right there. So
That's the one they would use for trainings.
Yeah, they would use her for trainings. And I remember my personal training when I first went there. You and I went together, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Tanya and I went together to become volunteers. Had to go through the orientation class and then be shadowed by another member, another volunteer for a while, a more experienced volunteer. But they brought Roxy out. That was the first time we saw Roxy, was in our orientation. And I probably ended up working there, I don't know, 3 to 6 months, something like that, about 40 hours a week. I was doing a lot better back then and really, really enjoyed it. Man, I just enjoyed the heck out of it. But one day, Roxy's name came down on the computer as being added to the euthanasia list. That they have to make room, and for dogs that have been there for so long, they get euthanized if they haven't been adopted. And even as great as Roxy is, she had heartworms. And heartworms can be expensive to get rid of, and in the process, sometimes a dog can die from that. So a lot of people, I think that's the main reason why people stayed away from her, because of the heartworm issues. And the minute I saw that she was on the euthanasia list, and all the staff in the veterinary department were all like, "Oh, I can't believe she's on the list." That doesn't mean that she was going to be euthanized that day or ever, but she was on that list. That the people that are in charge of the euthanasia, they go through and they are euthanizing, whatever you call it. They pick off of that list, and so it doesn't mean that you're going to be, dispatched, but there's a good there's a chance. So as soon as I heard about it, I went and I took her out of her kennel, and I took her back into a place that dogs normally aren't, and I locked her up. I hid her from everybody. And I told some of the staff members what I did, and they're like, "That's fine, that's fine." I said, I'm gonna call my wife, get a hold of her, and make sure to see, because we had a chocolate lab that had gotten run over and killed. Luke, it was a good dog, but he was a little puppy, and we were still trying to get over that, and wasn't really ready for another dog. We had to kind of recover from that loss, and I called her up and told her, I said, "Hey, Roxy got put on the list." And she said, "Well, you make sure you adopt her." I said, "Okay." So when my shift was done, right before they closed, I discovered Roxy. Found out where she went hiding all day, and adopted her. And she is a fantastic dog. She likes to, she doesn't wag her tail. She wags her body. I don't know if we can show an example of that or not. I don't know, Mom wants to show her. See if we can get her. Come on, Roxy. Come on. Come on for Daddy. In the camera. Come on, come on. What you thinking? Huh? What you thinking? Oh, you're not going to do it. You're camera shy. Are you camera shy? Come on. What do you think? Huh? What do you think? What are you thinking? What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Anyways, you know, everybody thinks their dog's the best. And I let them think that. But this dog is incredible. Of course, she listens to me because I'm the alpha, and she knows that. That's one reason why I never had problems with the dogs at the shelter. You know, these, I'm trying to think what they are, the animal patrol officers, whatever you call them, that go out to the field and get the dogs and cats that are stray and out and causing havoc in the neighborhoods and stuff. They'd bring them into the pound, and it was always so funny. These guys would come in and have the dogs, pit bulls, mastiffs, German shepherds, Doberman pinschers, everything. They'd put them on these. What is it? It was a stick. It was called a.
It was a catch pole.
Catch pole. They'd bring them in on a catch pole, and they'd scream and yell, "Get out of the way, bad dog!" Blah blah blah. And they go back and put them in one of the kennels. Well, they don't realize that tomorrow I got to go get them for an exam to be with the vet. I've got to go in there with a little leash, put it around their neck, walk them, pick them up, put them on the scale, take them in, put them in a cage till the vet's ready for them, and then bring them out, pick them up put them on the exam table, restrain them while they get checked over and anything that they need, and then take them back, and a few days later bring them back for surgery to get neutered if they're not neutered. And I just always found it comical that these guys come in with got the dogs on a catch pole, and the next day I got to go in and get them with just a little leash and walk into I had to go into the kennel and get these guys on a leash and get them out and pick them up and move them around, everything like that. And I had to do that to some St. Bernards one time. Oh my gosh, we had to have 2 people handle that. They were just heavy. And they were just lost. Their owner was there within 2 days or so and picked them up, but we still had to do the exam on them and make sure they were okay. But anyways, Roxy's a great dog. I mean, I could walk out with her. She just listens. She just listens so well. She doesn't chew anything. She's a good dog. You know, I don't know how old she is. The vet assistants, actually, what was the name? It was. They were the certified.
Yeah, I think there's a certified veterinary assistant.
No.
Oh.
That's what Jordan is a vet assistant.
Oh.
It was. I can't remember the name of the thing, but anyways, it's just underneath the vet. Anyways, they aged her out at like 5, 6, 7 years old or something like that, and by the time we got her home and got her on dry dog food, and I don't know, we had taken her, she'd been to the vet for the kill shot, for the kill shots for the heartworms, but when we took her for the annual visit a year later, the vet looked, one thing they look at is the tartar on the teeth to tell how old the dog is. And she had gone from having about a half a tooth of tartar to none. She's got the cleanest teeth. And so we don't really know how old she is. She's always acted the same as long as we've had her. So I don't know. She's probably 7 years old now. I think at least 7 years old. But she's a wonderful dog. I mean, and she's a pit bull mix. And people talk about pit bulls. I've had pit bulls, full-blood pit bulls. I've had good ones and bad ones. And, I don't blame any particular breed. I mean, they have their tendencies, that's for sure. But Roxy's a good dog. Is there anything you wanted to add to that? Talking to my wife, Tanya. Let's put her on the camera.
Yeah. One of the things that we found out when she was at the PRC, I'm really red today. I've got a skin condition that makes me red at times. But one of the things that we found out at the vet or at the PRC was there was a litter of puppies that had come in without a mama, and she heard them, and she was not happy. She just had to get to those puppies, and so they let her stay with those puppies for a little while they got them checked in and got the babies taken care of and everything, got them settled in. And of course, puppies there don't last long at all because everybody wants cute little fuzzy puppies. And so I'm sure they were only there a few days. But there was another sick dog that wasn't contagious or anything. It was some abnormality or something going on with the dog. And so it was just spinning in circles. I mean, maybe it was an inner ear infection or something, but it was just spinning in circles. And she noticed the dog, and they could not keep her away from mothering that little dog. And they must have had her out on a walk or, on a tour or something, because she was probably the only dog that was out of her kennel more than she was in it. She was in it at night and in between different things that they needed her for, but she was out of the kennel a whole lot. And but this little dog, she knew something was wrong with it, and she was going to take care of it. And she's been that way. She's that way with us. She doesn't leave our side when she knows one of us isn't feeling well, and I think a lot of dogs are like that. But she just has a very strong mothering capacity, and so that was my 2 cents.
Okay. Rachel thinks that Roxy's her dog too. Everybody claims Roxy is her dog. What do you think, Rachel? Got anything to add?
She's a really great dog.
Yeah. Whose dog is she?
Basically, she's more of your guys', but she's more family.
We all get a turn in taking care of her. Mom feeds her every morning, so I guess she should be her dog. But anyways, this is going long. Just wanted to brag on Roxy. I mean, none of us have ever had a better dog than Roxy. She's a great dog, and so it's going to be really, really, really hard when the day comes that we lose her. But until then, we're not going to worry about it. We're not going to think about it. We're going to enjoy Roxy and put up with her right next to our side. Can't leave us alone for a minute. And oh my goodness, when we're gone for a day or two or more, we come home, boy, she can't stay in her skin. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoy your dogs. Please spay and neuter your animals. Very, very important. And you guys have a great day. May God bless you. And we'll see you, or you'll see me on the next video. Thanks.